here is I've set up 4 heroes versus 1 villain. I know 4 against 1, right? But we want the heroes to win. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through the processes of how an actual round works. At the start, you're going to basically choose 1 villain, and I have chosen Baron Blade. Now up here in the top here is his health. So he starts with 40 health, tells you he's a villain. Then it also gives you text of who, what he is and what he's about. Then it's also got his icon. Now the icon is important to remember because anytime an icon of a villain and a hero matches, that means they deal each other 1 extra damage anytime they would do damage to each other. And I do have Legacy down here, and if you notice, he does have the icon to match. He starts with 32 health, and then he's got a power that's listed down here, which I'll explain how powers work in just a second. At the start of the game, after you choose and everybody gets everybody set up, you're going to go through the phases. And the first phase is the villain's turn. Now, the villain comes with a little card, and it's going to tell you what you're supposed to do at the beginning of each one of his turns, or even at the end. So, for instance, this here says that you're supposed to look through the deck, and you're supposed to find the mobile defense card. Now, I found it here. So it shows up here, it's got 10 health, and then you follow down here at the bottom, well, it says that I must destroy this before I can attack Baron Blade. Now, if you notice, I've got dice up here at the tops of each one of the hero cards and the villain card, and even this little device card. The reason you do that is because you can track the health with these characters with pen and paper, but I find using dice to be much easier, so I just take a couple of dice and put the numbers on it to represent their health, and away we go. Now, the other thing you do is you're going to follow everything it says on this card. So if you notice here, it says, at the start of the villain turn, if the villain trash has 15 or more cards in it, Baron Blades basically wins because he sucked the moon into the earth. So you want to make sure you don't allow him to get 15 cards in his trash pile before you defeat him. So, away we go. The villain phase happens, so you'd follow the text on the card, which is nothing special. We've already pulled out his device for him. So what we're going to do then is we are going to take the next top card and we're going to flip it over. Uh-oh, we got some minions here, don't we? Now they start with a health of 5, and then down here at the bottom it tells you the text of what they do. So we're going to take them, put them there, and we're going to put a die up there to represent that they've got 5 health. Then after that, he's finished. We move into the heroes phase themselves. At the start of the game, each hero will start with 4 cards, and I'm going to explain these cards just a tad bit. Now, all of this information here is listed in the glossary, but basically what you're looking at is you've got equipment limited, which means that you can have one type of this card out in front of you at any time. One shot, where it says right there, means that you could play this card once and then it's just instantly put into your discard pile. I just explained that, equipment limited, and once again. So on your turn as a hero, you could choose one of your cards to play. So for instance, she can say, I am going to play this card. And you would lay it down in front of you as such. The next step that you would take is that you get to use a power. Remember when I was talking about the power at the bottom of Legacy? Well, each character does have a standard power that they all come up with, and I hope that shows up okay on the camera, because that's a little dark. But I will show you that some equipment cards as well have powers on them. And you get to choose which one do you want to use. Well, she will use this one because that says that she can do 3 damage to one device or whatever. She could do 3 damage to projectile damage. And it's important to remember what type of damage that they do, because sometimes some characters can be immune to certain types of damage. So she hits this and reduces it down to 7. And then at the end of your turn, you would draw a card and put it on top of your card, so you can have an extra one for your next turn. Then it goes to the next hero. So he can go, if he wants to, he can just use his one-shot power, which raw deals one target 5 damage. This would go into his discard pile, and then he would hit this, reduce it down to 2. And once I find a 2, let's just use this one, boop, just like that. Then he would draw a card and put it back on top of his deck. Then it just goes to the next hero. Let's just say he decides he wants to do this. He's going to do a one-shot as well, which says here that Tempest deals one target 5 lightning damage. Hey, that's cool, because what he could do then is he could totally destroy these guys and put them... Now, the thing is, remember, we don't want Baron Blade to get 15 cards over here in his discard pile, because he will win the game. So you got to be careful when you're fighting him. And each villain has different scenarios that can help them win, which keeps the game very interesting and very cool. Now we're down to Legacy. He is the last hero to take his turn. Now, it says here, let's see, how about he does this right here. He's going to play this one here, and it says, Legacy deals 1 target 2 melee damage. Each hero regains 1 health point. So that is a ongoing limited card, which has a power. So he will destroy this mobile device, and then he draws another card and put it into his hand. Now we go into the environment phase. This is the environment deck. We are fighting in the Metropolis. So what we do is we're going to take the top card off of the environment deck, and we just follow what it says. It says here it's a plummeting monorail. At the start of the environment turn, this card deals 2 targets with the highest health points 5 melee damage each. And if you notice here, it's got 10 on its health. So what we've got to do is now not only are we fighting him, but now we got to worry about this monorail, because if we don't destroy it at the next turn of the environment turn, it's going to hurt us. So you're fighting the environment. You're fighting the bad guy. You're trying to survive and defeat him. He's got an agenda. Now, what's cool about him, too, is that once you get him to where he's got 0 health, you flip the card over, which transforms him into a big, vengeful, rampaging, giant, vengeful, mean robot guy. And his health would then just be reduced to 30. But once you defeat him in that mode, then you win the game. The game just continues until either the heroes destroy the bad guy, or all of the heroes are destroyed themselves. But there's something interesting about that, is that when a single hero is destroyed, their card is flipped over. So it's not like they're 100% destroyed, but they're defeated. And then what you do is you follow down whenever it's your turn, and you get to choose one of those things to do at the bottom there listed, and help and benefit your team still, but yet you don't get to mess with cards anymore. So that is Sentinels of the Multiverse.